So let's head to Toronto. That's where the Knicks look to take on the Raptors in the knockout round of the NBA Cup here, Monica.
This was a performance by the Knicks, I tell you, that's for sure.
Jalen Brunson, red hot here.
Yeah, he's been a little up and down from three this year, but last night he got it going. Actually, post-game, he thanked a fan, apparently, that was chirping and helped him have that big-time first half.
Well, yeah, he had 26 points. That's the most he's had in a half this season. Josh Hart slices it inside, and then later here in the second, Karl-Anthony Towns faking the handoff, drives. Nice finish there, Perk.
It wasn't just a drive. You talk about snatching the screws out the rim.
And then a few minutes later here, OG Anunoby gets the steal and then finishes all the way coast to coast for a little two-handed jam here, Monica.
It's good to see him back and playing this well. These are 2 games back-to-back now where he's been excellent. And then this stat is the efficiency, Malika. When this team is efficient, they're very, very hard to stop.
Yeah, the 3 of them outscoring the whole Raptors team, 55-52 in the first half. And then here's the final touches here. Brunson to a deep 3. He finished with a game-high 35. The Knicks cruise to a win here. Let's take a listen to Brunson after the game.
You guys have kind of moved since Josh joined the starting lineup. What's been the key to that?
He's just playing well.
What's it like?
He's playing well.
What's it like to see him shoot with confidence and let opposing coaches know about their
He should shut up and let them keep leaving him open.
All right, so the Knicks have won 4 straight and 8 of their last 9. That dynamic, one of the best in the NBA. But is that alone, Monica, what's fueling this Knicks run?
Well, those 2 are hugely important, but I think this offense this year, and particularly the way that they're shooting the 3, they're getting the most corner 3s. Jalen Brunson obviously is back to big body Brunson basketball. But here, you'll see this action. They do this corner thing so well. They make defenses decide if they're going to acknowledge the action, and there's not a ton happening here in this play, in the paint, or if they're going to get to this 3-point shooter. Mikal Bridges has been off to a fantastic start in this offense. He's one that reads it so well, and he's been shooting the 3 really well, around 40%. Here, same thing. Jalen Brunson gets to his spots. Y'all, Josh Hart, the way he's shooting the basketball, you combine that with his rebounding, his defense, his versatility, he's having an incredible season. I think he's around 38% from the 3-point line. And, of course, we mentioned the 6 of 9 from Jalen Brunson last night. Now, here's Josh. I told you 38%. But what I like is Mike Brown said earlier this season he wants his team to get up 43s. They have done that. Now, I will say, you can look and see when they shoot 38% or better, how it correlates to the wins or losses. But they're taking shots with confidence. There is no hesitation. And that's up and down the roster.
And, look, I get it. Big body Brunson is the best player on the floor. As you can see, his numbers right here. He's the best player on that team. Josh Hart is the heart and soul of that team. OG Anunoby, baby, a.k.a. Baby Pippen. We know what he's doing. But Karl-Anthony Towns is the most important player on this squad, right? And he sacrificed a lot scoring-wise, but he has been cleaning up that glass like a fresh bottle of what, Malika? Windex. He's second in the league in rebounding. And also, one of the best shooting bigs to ever play the game of basketball. Look at that catch and shooting transition. Here go another one. Using his 2-9, seeing ball and man, great box out, one-hand snag, runs the floor. Josh Hart pushing the pace. Give it to Cat again. Now, look, you have to respect him with so many people, so many bodies, but then we forget how skilled he is by putting the ball on the floor.
Come on,
and going to the rim and snatching the screws out of it. And this is the part that I love the most.
Fired up.
Hell yeah.
Come on.
He got 17 double-doubles. Second most in the NBA, trailing who?
And
Jokic.
If you're trailing Jokic, that ain't a bad thing.
No, it's not. And I'm glad you called this out, Perk, because he has had maybe not the scoring outburst, or he's not shooting 46, 42% from the 3-point line like he did last year. But I actually give him a ton of credit because he's getting it in the flow of this new system.
And this is coming after he was questionable with that calf issue coming into this game. Again, he helps the Knicks advance to Las Vegas. Their opponent, though, in the Sin City, it was also decided last night. It was a little Florida clash between the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat. So let's head down now and see how this one shook out here. Starting with Miami. They started out hot here. Miami up, Bam Adebayo. Norm Powell, been a huge addition, Bobby, for Miami.
He's been terrific, and they got off to a 13-0 start. Just got out of the gates here.
Tyler Hero gets to the paint, gets that one to go. The 15-0 run that you mentioned, that is the longest unanswered run to start an NBA Cup game. Miami up after the first quarter. But in the second here, the Magic trailing by 14. Here's when Desmond Bane, Monica, starts to get going.
Listen, when shooters get hot, you shoot to stay hot and you shoot to get hot, and he was on fire through the course of this one.
If you're confused excuse why this isn't a cup court. We've had some issues with cup courts around the league and slipperiness here, but don't worry, this is an NBA Cup game, and the Orlando Magic making a comeback like they know it here, Perk.
I know, and look, Jalen Suggs, he's elevated his game over the last couple weeks. He's going to be key to their success. He was key
You
to them
mentioned
last.
Suggs, and he shall appear, hitting a little midi there, Perk.
I like a little fundamental.
Orlando taking the
glass?
lead.
Yeah.
Miami, 16 points. It marked their largest blown lead of the season. It didn't get better.
And that's what I love about Desmond Bain. Like, a lot of people think that he's just a catch-and-shoot guy, but he can create off the dribble. He know how to utilize the pick and roll as well. He's underrated in that aspect.
Paolo Banchero finding Bain there. And then once again, Bain driving, finishing. And then look at this. He points at Tyler Hero there after the bucket. Bain had 37
spicy.
points, the third 35-point game this season for the Magic.
Oh, it's huge, man. I mean, I just lost 35,000, so I gotta go get it back somehow. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited. Great opportunity for us to play some meaningful basketball early in the season. So I know the group's excited.
That 35K Desmond Bain was referring to.
So
in case you missed
goofy.
it. Also, any chance we get to show you this video again, we're going to take it. This
Why?
fine was for chucking the ball at OG Anunoby to try to trigger the out-of-bounds call. Clearly, he was already out of bounds. Was not a first offender in this. So
You get a
there we go.
dodgeball rematch.
There you go. I love it. Hey, here's a look at the NBA Cup brackets. The Magic, we know they move on. The Knicks, we know they advance to the semifinals in Las Vegas, and they will be joined by the winners of tonight's Suns-Thunder matchup, which Perk has already taken the Thunder in that one, and then the winner of the Spurs and Lakers game as well. And by the way, if you feel like you've seen that Eastern Conference semis a few times recently,
A few.
yeah, you're not losing your marbles. This will be the fourth time the Magic and Knicks have met in just over a month. Orlando won 2 of the first 3 games, although the Knicks won their most recent matchup this past Sunday. And Monica, those Magic wins, they had Franz Wagner in
Correct.
them. Wagner out now 2 to 4 weeks, but you see that as a huge difference maker.
I do, because Wagner was giving the Knicks the business, quite frankly. And I think in those 2 games, in fact, the Magic were the only team that the Knicks had dropped a home game to over this first stretch of the season. But I think in those first 2 games, for whatever reason, chalk it up to early season, figuring it out, the Knicks weren't prepared for the physicality that the Magic play with. That was not the case the last time these teams met in the Garden. Of course, you wish Wagner well, but I think the Knicks are now prepared. 2 things: prepared for the physicality, and also shooting the 3-ball really well as a team. So it's going to be a tall task for the Magic.
I'm always look at Karl Anthony Towns, especially with a matchup like this. Who's going to be able to stop him? We saw those clips of his ability to be able to take off the dribble. I still think the Knicks could find that balance of utilizing him a bit more on the low block. But the way he's been playing his passion, I think, the way that it opens it up for everything in his new offense, and if he continues to stay engaged, that's the thing. When you have an engaged Karl Anthony Towns, you have a great Karl Anthony Towns.
I just think they found their identity, New York has. And I think there was a stretch in that second quarter where they really blew the game up. We showed the Anunoby dunk, where good defense turns into really good offense here. And when you have what Josh Hart has been able to do, there were 6 losses, I think, total on the road here. They're, of course, a better home team, but 3 of those were without Josh Hart on the road there.
And, Bobby, that's a great point. When you say they found their identity, right, it takes time. They got a new coach.
It does.
And the thing I got to give a lot of praise to when it comes to Mike Brown, he's been very open and honest about situations that he's had to deal with, holding himself accountable, leaning on his coaching staff to get better and put guys in position to be better.
And we've seen teams use the NBA Cup as a stepping stone here. Obviously, Oklahoma City didn't have the showing in Vegas that they wanted to, but they used that to help propel them to get over the top in a bigger goal at the end of the season. Could this be another stepping stone here for the New York Knicks? Of course, first they need to get past the Magic, but they're